Donald Trump so far, clearly, I mean, last time it came as a surprise to him winning this election. This time, as you alluded to, supremely confident. He's known for a long time what he has wanted to do. Has it been an interesting check so far on some of his choices that, you know, one's hit the fence already and we've got Hegseth struggling, but, you know, guess what? It's still a democracy.
Yeah. So, Tom, it's so interesting, right? You always knew, and one prediction I will stand by, is that this was not going to look like Trump Mark I in terms of the appointments. But even with that sort of, you know, it being a forethought there, he has gone far and beyond where I thought he would go with the appointments he announced. Personal loyalty, yes, prime among the criteria he's looking for. But some of these picks are just, you know, to say they're controversial is perhaps a huge understatement. But this is Trump certainly putting his mark on it, sending a really clear signal that he will not be captured by what he sees as the deep state a second time around. And yeah, I mean, one of them, Matt Gaetz for Attorney General, that was just sort of literally mouth wide open when I heard that. And I wasn't too surprised that one didn't last too long. And we'll see, was that softening up so that, you know, to let Hegseth get through, we'll see. But, you know, my assessment is that this one is hanging by a thread. You've got Republican senators being drawn out on very favourable media environments in the US, on Fox News and whatnot. They will not back this guy in just yet. And I think this one probably faces an uphill battle. And, you know, he's alive until Trump says he's not. And I think it's just a matter of Trump counting the votes and figuring how much horse trading does he want to engage in over this one.
Yeah, and always, no matter what, Donald Trump's not alone. Always make it look as though you made the decision and not someone else for you.
That's right.
Look, I guess the two... well, one of the really interesting things has already been his stance on tariffs. This is a really early warning shot, and it's something he does regularly, isn't it? But I think it shows that if people sort of thought, oh, well, you know, he might not go as far as that, is he going to really... Is this going to be much more dramatic than the first presidency because he's ready? There's no COVID to interrupt things, we don't think, you know, touch wood. But, you know, stuff like migration, the tariffs, $3 trillion in savings, Simon. That'll be felt across the country.
Yeah, if only we could delete that line item in the federal budget labelled waste and fraud, Tom. Wouldn't life be a lot easier?
Let's get rid of that. Done. No more.
Right. I think what Musk will discover two things. One, as a practical matter, it is very hard to go to $3 trillion in savings, number one. But number two, the political will. Keep in mind that Republicans, their majority in the House is one of the most narrow we've seen in history. That Trump himself will have a very slender mandate, if any. At the end of the day, now that all the votes are counted, he's got less than 50% of the popular vote. He's got Congress by just a handful of votes. To the extent they need legislative action, and ultimately the budget is the bottom line and the appropriations are the power of Congress, it's going to run into political headway as well. But, and you've got to give Musk some credit, right? SpaceX is just one of the most remarkable companies on the planet at this time. The pace of innovation, and if you put up against it the slow pace of innovation that we saw out of NASA during the space shuttle years, where to launch a space shuttle was costing $1 billion a throw, the pace at which SpaceX is doing things. This guy knows how to engineer solutions to big, complex engineering challenges. So let's see where this one lands. I'm extremely curious about it.
I've got to leave it there, but I guess the point is maybe look at SpaceX, not Twitter, if you're talking about what Elon Musk is capable of.
That's the successful company. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Talk soon.